في مقابلة خاصة مع رئيس عمليات شركة لوكهيد مارتن السيد فرانك St. John. Welcome, Frank, to العربية, and this interview. We are so delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you. So congratulations on 60 years in Saudi Arabia. That's a great accomplishment. I mean, 6 decades on. What has Lockheed Martin today and its presence here in Saudi Arabia grow into beyond just an office?
Well, it's hard to believe, but in 1965, when we first delivered C-130s, I don't know that any of us envisioned that we would be doing as much as we are today in the kingdom. And we just recently established a regional headquarters here. We have our license from the Ministry of Investment, and we're very pleased to use this now as a headquarters in the region for expanding not only deterrence capability delivery, but also partnership with industrial companies in the kingdom so that we can, expand their capabilities and improve talent development and just, be a partner for the long term.
I'm glad you touched on that, and I want to ask you about that really. The manufacturing industry in Saudi Arabia, how ready it is to welcome those new, for example, training, to have that technology transferred, to have that information and knowledge transferred into the Saudi market?
Well, it's growing every year. Every time I come back, there's more and more appetite and more capability here, and we are in the process. We have purchase orders that we are letting with companies within Saudi Arabia. I think it's about twice as many this year as we had last year. And those companies are now starting to deliver. We're now starting to get hardware into our supply chain. And so we're seeing just year over year growth in the capability, and not only just manufacturing, but also things like software, things like electronics, things like even artificial intelligence are becoming part of the offering here in the kingdom.
Well, artificial intelligence is such a trending hot topic, everlasting trending hot topic.
Yes, it is.
AI. So how are you implementing that in your systems and your platforms? Is it to improve current systems and defense system? Is it to integrate it in new platforms, perhaps?
Well, it does come as part of upgrades to existing platforms, but primarily when we think about it, it's about the analysis of large quantities of data. And we see that in things like command and control systems. And so the artificial intelligence is used to analyze rapid amounts of data very rapidly and provide decision aids to commanders. And that artificial intelligence is different than what you might see out in the commercial space. The artificial intelligence we develop has to be very reliable, it has to be very predictable, and it has to be very trusted because it's mission critical.
Exactly, and that was going to be my next question, but you already answered it, so thank you. All right, so now on knowledge and tech transfer into Saudi Arabia, especially THAAD systems, like we see in this beautiful picture here. Co-production with Lockheed Martin, what concrete milestones can be delivered within the next 12 to 24 months, let's say?
Well, we're already seeing delivery of missile launch canisters, and those are being delivered into the United States, and then THAAD missiles are being integrated into those canisters. We're also seeing launchers being assembled and delivered out of Saudi Arabia, and those are fulfilling requirements not only for the kingdom, but also for other THAAD customers. And over time, we think that's going to expand into electronics capability, into command and control capability. Just, we're just getting started with the THAAD system, and we think there's going to be more and more over time.
So the best is yet to come?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great,
the best is yet to come.
Well, what about Saudi companies and their role in this? When we talk about SAMI and GAMI, what role do they play when it comes to that?
Well, SAMI is, as you know, managing a lot of the industrial base for defense and deterrence here in the kingdom. And so SAMI really is a conduit for us, and they introduce us to companies like MEPC and AEC and AIC Steel, and all of these different companies are all agreements that have been arranged through SAMI, and we basically have a good relationship with them, and they are a broker for us in that process.
Lovely. Well, now we've seen, especially us being in the news industry and all around the world, we see the surge in drones and missile use, ballistic missiles specifically, and the threats that comes with it. So how do you assess the real-world performance of counter-unmanned aircraft systems, missile defense systems. Now that we've seen it, Russia, Ukraine, Iran, and so on.
Right.
How do you assess the performance of it?
So just recently, over the last several months, we've seen, for example, in the Iran-Israel war, and also over the last couple of years in Russia and Ukraine, that the missile defense systems, many of which the kingdom has acquired, are very effective against ballistic missile threats, against cruise missile threats.
Yes.
We are in the process of developing additional capabilities that are going to integrate those together. They're going to provide longer range detection and also provide capability to defend against small unmanned vehicles. Those are also increasingly becoming a threat. And so we see that as an integrated air and missile defense capability that we're looking forward to bringing to the kingdom in the future.
Were those immediate upgrades happen because of the lessons learned from the real-life performance that we've seen to those systems?
Yes, and every day, every week, we're getting more information on what the threat is doing, and then we're responding with upgrades in capability to counter that and provide deterrence against that.
Well, looking ahead and beyond current regional operators that we have in the region, could we see additional deployments in the Middle East soon, such as F-35 maybe?
Those kinds of things are strictly government to government decisions. And so while we're very interested and we're always very supportive of being able to provide capability, we don't typically predict, we just prepare. So that we're ready if called upon to provide those capabilities.
So you wouldn't predict perhaps if Saudi Arabia could be one of the early recipients, let's say recipients of the F-35 maybe?
Well, I think the F-35 is an outstanding platform, and again, over the last several months, it's proven itself to be incredibly effective against the most advanced threat environments. So it would be high on the list for any country that was looking to raise its air dominance capability and deterrence capability.
Correct, and we've seen several countries requesting that. Nothing confirmed from the Saudi government, but we've heard talks here and there. Well, we have a recent visit to His Royal Highness going to the US in mid-November. I know you're not part of any talks or deals happening, but do you perhaps foresee anything? Do you know anything that you can let us know about?
No, we're very excited that His Royal Highness will be visiting, and we're looking forward to, just like you are, seeing what comes out of those government-to-government discussions. And again, we're providing information when requested, and we'll be ready to provide the capabilities that are agreed to coming out of those meetings.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. We
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed this conversation, and we'll look forward to talking and speaking to you again after the visit.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Thank you so much. شكرا لكم مشاهدينا. كنت في مقابلة خاصة مع رئيس عمليات شركة لوكهيد مارتن السيد فرانك سيد جون. شكرا لكم.